Hi, welcome back to Disciples for Jesus. I'm Sarah, and on this channel, we explore faith in a practical way. Today, we are going to start getting into the topic on temperament, and I'm going to sort of give just the breakdown, the just an introductory on temperament. And then I'm thinking I might just go ahead and make it into a four-part, just so that the video is not too long, and then I would like to segue that into environment. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this introduction of temperament. How temperament and environment affect the Christian prayer life, starting with temperament. What is temperament? Temperament is a person's emotional and behavioral style that is inborn, influencing how they react to the world from birth. It includes traits like activity level, intensity of reaction, adaptability, and mood quality. While temperament is the stable inborn foundation, personality is shaped over time as temperament interacts with a person's environment and experiences. The four temperaments are melancholic, phlegmatic, sanguine, and choleric. What role does your temperament play in determining your view of God and the Christian life? It's not a definitive label. Studies emphasize that temperaments do not define a person, and individuals are not limited to their natural tendencies. Spiritual growth over natural self help. The purpose is not just self improvement, but to become better at fulfilling one's calling as a Christian. God is greater than any box. While temperaments are seen as a useful tool, studies caution against using them to rigidly categorize people or their behaviors. Christian study on personality. Christian studies integrate Hippocrates' theory of the four temperaments into a framework for spiritual growth and understanding human nature. These studies use the temperaments sanguine, choleric, phlegmatic, and melancholic to provide a lens for self reflection and to guide individuals in developing virtues and spiritual disciplines rather than simply for self improvement. The goal is to use an understanding of one's temperament to better fulfill God's will, not to be defined by it, as Christians' theology emphasizes that God is greater than any classification. How Christian studies use the four temperaments. It's a framework for growth. Instead of just natural self improvement, understanding temperaments provides a way to identify specific spiritual virtues and practices that can help individuals grow into holiness. Sorry about that. Examples of integration. A choleric may be encouraged to schedule prayer time to counterbalance a tendency towards being overly active or demanding. A melancholic might be guided to focus on God's personal love to combat dependency and perfectionism. A sanguine could be encouraged to focus on finishing tasks and not just starting them. A phlegmatic might be challenged to step out of their comfort zone and confront injustice rather than passively avoiding conflict. Emphasizing balance. Christian perspectives often highlight that Jesus Christ embodied all four temperaments in a perfect balance, a state to strive for through grace. Acceptance and compassion. Recognizing different temperaments can foster compassion for others and help in building more harmonious relationships with the Christian community. Here are some important considerations. It's not a definitive label. Studies emphasize that temperaments do not define a person, and individuals are not limited to their natural tendencies. Spiritual growth over natural self help. The purpose is not just self improvement, but to become better at fulfilling one's calling as a Christian. God is greater than any box. While temperaments are seen as a useful tool, studies caution against using them to rigidly categorize people or their behaviors. How the four temperaments relate to Christian spirituality. Cholerics. They are ambitious and energetic. They may naturally exhibit zeal, but can struggle with patience and irritability. They are called to pray for peacefulness and mildness, and their prayer life might focus on goals and action. Sanguine. They are cheerful and optimistic. They have a natural inclination for joy. However, they must work on self control and may find it easier to pray in a group or through actions and service to others. Melancholics. They are deeply thoughtful, sensitive, and idealistic. They are naturally inclined toward piety and a rich interior life. They need to consciously work on acquiring joy and may find that a structured prayer life and spiritual direction are beneficial to avoid feelings of dissatisfaction. Phlegmatics. They are calm and cooperative. Their spiritual journey may involve cultivating audacity and fortitude. They need to be mindful of prayer forms that require more intensity and personal initiative. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put a pin in it for now, and we will get into all the four temperaments, and I'll try to give a little more of a breakdown in the next videos. I hope you found this helpful. I look forward to next time. But remember, until then, walk in faith, lead with courage, and serve with love. God bless.